So with mindfulness awareness, you can avoid. Otherwise, kena already. Then sometimes that Ori or one the people go, actually the way he drive is supposed to kena. But somehow the awareness knew it move out. So that's why I came to know no negativity. Then with mindfulness awareness, with the understanding, you make aspiration. You can actually avoid a lot of things. Yeah. That's why I told my son, no matter what happens, don't get angry. Don't become very unhappy and negative. So he know, he applied. That's why he see the result also. So all this, if you have the Dhamma cultivation, understanding, it can help you. So like Sui say on the type of coming, normal people cannot run, cannot run. 9:15 idea. Okay. Sui continue, finish after that we finish.
Okay, last one. The first time I attended retreat, the hearing what direct seeing is was very puzzling. So when I went back to Singapore, I was doing my daily life. I remember very vividly. There was one time I was waiting for the MRT train in the MRT station. Then I was looking at the waiting chairs. There are a lot of benches. I was like, bench. How to look at bench without calling it a bench? So these are the investigations I asked myself, because they say you're supposed to investigate. So for a while, at that time, nothing came out of it, but I pondered. I was like, okay, but no matter how I look at it, it was still a bench. So after that, okay lah. Yeah. So, but there were many moments like this, and then eventually I started to see the things, the inanimate objects, start to tell me their story. It's like, hey, oh, so that's direct seeing. They can't talk, but when I really take an interest, like how I said, I start to take a genuine interest in the people around me, even the things. Then I start to see, hey, they didn't pop out of thin air. How did they come here? What is this thing in front of me? Then I was like, okay, like, so for example, like that bench, we call it a bench, but when you do the bullock cart analogy, you remove the legs, remove it, then it becomes 4 sticks and 1 plank. Then if you go further down, you disintegrate everything already, then there's no more bench. But then when I look at it, how did the bench get assembled? Oh, a lot of people had to put a lot of work. And they had to go and get supplier. You know, the whole thing being created is not just bench, all the bench the same. They come out, I think every MRT station got same bench. No, it's no longer like that for me. So I start to look at it. Okay lah. For conversation, I have to refer to it as bench. You want to sit on the bench? But I can accept when people somehow got problem with this bench, one another bench, and then or they like when things are not that nice, bench very hard to go wrong. But for example, the cups, so sometimes if you go downstairs to take the mug, some mugs are chipped, some mugs are discolored. But they might have the same design, but then people will choose to have a nicer one because in our mind, all are the same. So if it's not so nice, it's defective. I want a normal one. There's a concept of normal and not normal. I no longer see it like that. Every cup was different, made of different materials. If it was made of ceramic, then the sand they used was all different, taken from different corners of the earth to create that kind of different cup. And by virtue of the sand, coloring will be different, how sturdy they are depending on the material they mix. They will all be minor differences. Then I start to see them as unique people, not just cups anymore. Then I say, oh, I got affinity with you. I choose you. You know? Yeah. So this journey of seeing without labeling was very interesting in that way for me. But I think everybody goes through a different journey. That's my thing.
Okay, so there's maybe I just add a bit. That one is unique to her, but that one use a lot of rational analysis and what they call reasoning. So we try to develop that. But the direct seeing is different because when you are aware, stabilized at time, then anytime can happen, like my wife, suddenly walking to the market or whatever, then he suddenly saw. Then she knew, like robot, mechanical, understand? It's not a person. Then he saw herself also. Yeah? This one is like functioning by itself because of condition, views, opinion. So it's like there is nobody inside there. Then later on, your awareness become more stable at that time. Then when you see things different already. You don't label, you automatic one. Like when I see something, I see one. That's why it's very pristine. Everything is like, because from the awareness, like what Alicia go through, that awareness nature have that, oneness awareness. So it's not fixed, not focus, perceive, then create thought. This one is aware. When you are aware, that is the direct seeing. All the activity and the movement without word one. That's why it's amazing. So when I see anything like this one, I used to tell you, if you are so conditioned, microscope, you don't see already.
Microphone.
Ah, microphone, mistake. Microphone, you don't see. You think you know, microphone 有咩咁好睇? But you really have the attentiveness and the mindfulness to see, you observe. Then you are more attentive. You have mindfulness. You are more sensitive. You see these things as they are. No words. Then when somebody asks you, what is this microphone like? You can recollect one. No? Oh, black color. Let's see one. You can make it. But when you see, you just see as it is. The example, you look at the black rectangular board there. Those who don't know Mandarin, very easy. Direct see. You don't understand. Then you see all those so-called Mandarin words, the way it is long. No word come out. Unless you can recognize. I also cannot recognize all the four. Then the small one cannot see better still. That's this like the baby, they see as they are, understand? So that is a very close analogy. But the real one, the direct seeing is, even when you have the conditioning, you know how to read Mandarin, but you see things as they are. You want to know, you can know. You remember I told you? Because you're aware, like specific phenomenal awareness. Then if I decide to know, I can know. I decide to feel, I can feel. All this is possible. Understand? But the direct seeing, if your nature stabilizes, the awareness shine forth, then what you see is that nature's observation is a general awareness. Understand? But when you go to specific phenomenal awareness like this, what? Not microscope, microphone. I have this tendency to mix up the word. Understand? Yes. This word, they are not like something that is I very familiar with. I once a while use one. So I tend to make mistake. Then sometimes I pronounce it wrongly. So we every time correct me. So I mean, this is what I must admit. I don't go into all this. I don't have that like I want to be perfect in everything I did. No, for me, enough for me to understand and communicate. That is it. Otherwise, I don't want to learn. Why should I waste time learning all these things? Basic understanding of the language and all things that I use. But when I make the mistake, tell me, like my spelling mistake. Because now that thing, like after so long, you didn't use the English word and write on the whiteboard. 3 whole years already, actually. Then I seldom write. You see now my writing also no good already. Last time my writing improved until every year. Better. Then now I realize go back to like last time, like Tao already. So whatever it is, the cultivation is not that. Understand? When you have the awareness, then you can have that type of see. Then when you have that type of see, very funny. How come you see like that? Because there is the awareness seeing. It's not from here. From here, you keep on creating words, concept, idea. Oh, yeah, memory. You have been taught. You have been trained. Then You don't see it. That because of that you don't pay attention already. When you think you know, you think you see it. Like Yun Chan say, he put on the no one, Raymond didn't see you. Then he started laughing. Because Yun Chan spouse so many years already, 有沒有好睇 So all this is what the normal human beings, mundane minds, perception. The perception always go to memory first. Perception, memory. So what you all need to develop is train your awareness to be stable. That's it. No need to try using the thought to analyze, to find way to do the direct seeing. That is using thought, approach it for knowledge. So it will not bring about that one. It may happen, but take long time. Until unknowingly, when your awareness stabilizes, then suddenly you see. Then sometimes if you are not careful, you may think, yeah, I started with like that, like that, like that. Then suddenly the awareness may just stabilize you. Then you see. Then you will tell people, you do like that. Then one day you see. It's just like that guy. He said the teacher teach him slaughter animal or they make offering, then reborn sucker. Actually, he still do another one. He got psychic, but he saw that karmic was not that few life before one. The few life before one, he actually go to hell. Second one here, he told me, you go tell your teacher. That was the distant past when he got jhana, everything. He helped the monks. So that wholesomeness gave rise to causes and conditions for him to take birth in the place he wants to take birth. It is very wholesome. So that's why because of that. Just now we went through one section here. Wealth, long life, heavenly, all from what? Heedfulness, cultivation, and become enlightened. He's one jhana, that's all. But he aspired, he also became king Saka. So you sometimes can see past life or psychic, say, but you are not a Samasa Buddha. No. May not be the correct one. No. You go and take this one and say that one is me. That is how I become what I am. Then you go, yeah. Understand? So always remember, analysis, reasoning is thought based, knowledge based. Try to find an answer, a solution. But that is not direct seeing. The direct seeing is just the awareness without the thought. Okay? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.